Welcome to Worldwide News. My name is Sloan Dykema.
And I'm Olivia Guy.
And we bring you breaking news regarding Cuba, the Soviet Union, and the USA.
As we all know, the United States government tried to overthrow Cuba's communist government. This event caused Cuba to seek help from the Soviet Union.
To keep you updated, we now go to the United States military advisor.
As of right now, all we know is that Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev secretly deployed nuclear missiles to Cuba. We believe this was to counteract our missiles in Italy and Turkey. By the time we were made aware of this threat, the missiles were already in place. We have advised the president to invade the island, but, however, President John F. Kennedy has asked we take a more careful approach.
Okay. Welcome back to Worldwide News. We have an update regarding USA and Cuba.
U.S. military advisor has announced that the U.S. Navy will intercept all shipments to Cuba.
The Soviet Union has considered this an act of war.
Khrushchev has written a letter to President JFK. This letter reads, "The violations of freedom to use international waters and international airspace is an act of aggression, which pushes mankind towards the abyss of world nuclear missile war."
We now go to President JFK for a special announcement.
I urge all U.S. citizens to stay calm. We have demanded that the Soviet Union remove all missiles from Cuba. Cuba has responded by saying that the missiles are just for defense. This is unacceptable. We are working quickly to come to conclusion. We have begun arming the U.S. and preparing for possible invasion.
Breaking news. After a 6-day intense standoff, we just received word on a U.S. military spy plane being shot down by a Soviet missile.
We have just now received information of a submarine almost starting World War III after a misunderstanding where communication was confused by a missile. We have 3 of our staff here to recreate exactly how it happened.
Whoa! Guys, we seem to be hit by a USA missile. World War III must have happened. Too bad we are so far down into the sea to communicate and ask.
We must vote on whether we send a missile back. We can't let them fight and not fight back. I vote we bomb them.
I agree!
Hold up, doll. So we can't assume. Basically, I think that it wasn't a missile.
Well, I'm sold. Let's not bomb them. Teamwork.
Okay. Thanks guys for the realistic reenactment. Luckily to the one commander, Vasily Arkhipov, World War III wasn't started and it turns out the USA missile was really just another submarine attempt to communicate.
Okay, welcome back to Worldwide News. U.S. Attorney General Robert Kennedy secretly met with Soviet Ambassador Antonov something. They had a long discussion to negotiate and decided that the U.S. would remove their missiles from Italy and Turkey and also would promise to never invade Cuba. In return, the Soviet would withdraw their missiles from Cuba.
There has been controversy all over the world. Here we have an interview on an American's view on this compromise.
Excuse me, ma'am. How do you feel about the compromise?
Terrible. It's awful how the president just gave in like that.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
And what about you?
I think it's pretty great that the president was able to stop a nuclear war.
Great.
Thank you for joining us at Worldwide News over the last 13 days. We're glad we could give you a great coverage.
That's a wrap.
Cuts.
Right?
What, that's sexist? Anyways.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go.
Oh, how do I sound like a man?
You don't have to. Don't
have to.
Hello! That's what JFK said. Like, okay, are you ready? Okay. I urge all U.S. citizens to stay calm. We have demanded that the Soviet Union removes all missiles from
Let's
Cuba.
talk louder and slower.
Cuba!
Whoa! Oh, you got
I'm
Hi, Mom!
Oh, so I just do my scene.
Mom, hi. I want to thank the Academy.
Ready whenever.
Um,
put the tongue to the.
Okay, ready now? Alright. Thanks, guys, for the realistic reenactment.
It's rolling.
Welcome back to Worldwide News. U.S. Attorney General Robert Kennedy secretly met with Soviet what? Secretly met with Soviet Why am I having so much trouble with that word?
Ambassador.
Watch this one. Okay, it's coming. It's coming.